Even when you lost, there's always a hope. Rise and fight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another BSL15 event. We are finally at the winner bracket finals stage of this BSL15 Europe, and here to commentate alongside me is my good buddy, Nyokin. Nyokin, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Machine? I'm happy to be back. You know, we took like a week break, and here we are with the final regional championship. I think out of all the regions, out of all the matchups you could possibly get, other than maybe Mihu versus Dewalt or Mihu versus Bonyth or Mihu versus John Hoon, this is the one that you were waiting for. It's going to be Dewalt versus Bonyth, but that's not the only match we got today. We got on the bottom side the Zergs, and it's going to be Sziky versus Ptak. So I'm excited to see, is Dewalt finally going to beat Bonyth here in BSL, or is Bonyth going to continue to just always have Dewalt's number?
I feel like every time we say that, we straight up jinx Dewalt. So I'm gonna call it like I see it. This is gonna be a close match, man. Either way, Bonyth, he somehow manages to come out on top. Although Dewalt just looks so strong in every matchup. You know, PvP though, Bonyth, he's got some serious strengths. So either way, it's gonna be an exciting one, man. But yeah, not to get ahead of ourselves. Match one will end up being Ptak going up against Sziky. This is going to be a high-class level ZZZ. I'm excited, man. Sziky, hard to argue. He's clearly not one of the best, if not the best, Zergs inside all of Europe at the moment. But Ptak has really kind of made a name for himself in this pro league from Europe. He's gone through some pretty serious competition. He's made it this far, man, and I mean, I don't know, we'll have to see if he can give Sziky a run for his money here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the brackets. For some reason I thought we had seen Sziky versus Ptak, but now I'm seeing that it's actually been, where is Ptak? Okay, he's in the bottom side of the bracket. Maybe it was Julia versus Ptak, I can't remember, but didn't we see Ptak on Monopoly and he like had ultras, or am I thinking of completely different player?
Oh, he did play against you. Yeah, you're right. He did go ultras, and the island base ended up getting taken and everything. It was nuts. It was kind of a nuts game for sure.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought it was Sziky versus Ptak, but I'm looking at this bracket. Unless I'm blind, I don't see Ptak versus Sziky anywhere. Maybe it was in the group stages. I guess that could have been the case. But yeah, this is going to be a rematch between Ptak versus Sziky. And the fact that Ptak, I would say, survived the early game versus Sziky means he does have a shot here versus Sziky, but it's, like you said, hard to count Sziky out as not being the favorite here. I mean, his Mutamicro is impeccable. He has the killer instinct, which you must have in ZVZ. So I'm still going to favor Sziky here, of course.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to argue him not being the favorite here, but because Ptak kind of plays a little more unorthodox style of ZVZ, maybe that, it gives him a better shot than not, right? And maybe catching a player like Sziky out. So, you know what? We'll have to see how this one ends up going. It's going to be a best of 3 to kick things off here from these two. And there's plenty of decent maps in the map pool for ZVZ, kind of bigger maps a lot of the time. So, we were seeing a lot of like Expo play, which you might not normally see, on the majority of maps ZVZ. So I'm kind of interested to see, what these guys end up going with here in this game number 1.
Yeah, we saw actually Sziky versus Julia. Remember, Julia went for that hidden third, or I guess hidden mat at the third base on Butter. Yeah, on Butter. And if you remember, Sziky's scout pattern was straight to the natural. So I'm sure Ptak watched those games. I don't know what he'll think of that. Okay, well, Overwatch is also a 2-player map. Scout pattern is going to obviously be very important. Let's get into game 1 of this series, Ptak versus Sziky.
And spawning at the top left as the yellow Zerg, it is Ptak.
Okay, and in the bottom right are magenta Zerg. It is Sziky. So I mentioned the scout pattern on Butter because I'm not a Zerg player here. You're the Zerg expert, but if you know somebody's going to go straight to your natural here, have same scenario here, we go straight to your natural. What do you think building an in-base hatch in your main? Like, they're going to scout your nat and see, oh, no hatch. That must have been pull first. But if you show up with like an in-base 2 hatch, could that be a good like mind game potentially?
I mean, it can be. A lot can be determined by scouting with that Overlord through, Zergling scout pattern, right? Like if you send your Overlord to their natural, a lot of times, if you're expecting it's a 9 pool, the Zerglings will move out in time and you can kind of catch it that way. So, it's not always a big determining thing, but I still think a 12 hatch in main could be strong, like on a map like this for sure.
All right, well, we have Sziky already putting down that early pool, and it's going to be another 9 pool. I think we saw him play either this or overpool every game, I feel like, whereas I think the majority of his opponents, like Julia, like Ptak, have gone into this early hatch play, and Sziky has not canceled the gas, so this is going to be a nightmare hold for Ptak.
Yeah, I mean, I love this play from Sziky. The reason why you open the really good Zergs open just standard 9 pool layer like this all the time is to catch out the bullshit. It's true. Like a 12 hatch Expo is just such a risky build in this matchup where Koreans consistently are going these 9 pools. I would have liked to see a 12 pool Expo. If anything, you can maybe gain advantages by doing a risky 12 pool versus 9 pool, but I don't know. I think there's a good shot Sziky just kind of shuts this Expo down and does some serious damage with these first 6lings. Well, not if they don't move across the map.
Yeah, you gotta get out on the map, man. And there he goes. Now, look at this Overlord scout pattern from Ptak. He will get there just in the nick of time onto the bridge. I was thinking, okay, well, Sziky, I'm sure, has played this map. Maybe he would try and hook around to avoid the Overlord, kind of mind game Ptak here, but not the case. Ptak knows it's coming. And I feel... Oh, he's already built a sunken in his main, so has he already sacked this hatch?
He has. It's a common response. He might look to delay a little bit, but he's pretty much given up on that. You can react here, and you can play your way out of this position, but you don't want to give Sziky map control here. That's where Sziky's now going to be at an advantage. He will be able to expo first, and I think Sziky's just at a great spot here, honestly.
Yeah, looking at the gas, you can see Sziky's up in gas by 100, so that's a muta that Ptak will never get. He's also slower on his lair, and I think Sziky's already upgrading speed, whereas Ptak, I'm not sure if he is upgrading speed. So if Sziky was to cancel speed, for example here, he would actually be up 2 mutalist, but not going to be the case. He is just going to complete that speed, which is obviously fantastic in ZVZ, but there's that in-base hatch. So going to be larva advantage for Ptak for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it is his advantage. It's his only real advantage at this time. But man, that layer is quite delayed. I gotta say, he's got to be worried about the Spire timing from Sziky. I don't know if that's an Evo and a Spore or something, but I'm afraid that if he waits until this Spire completes, he just won't have units in time.
Yeah, this Spire is so delayed, it's not like, okay, well, he'll have mutas out in the map, but I'll be able to get Scourge out in time. No. Mutas are going to be in his base, wreaking havoc on this drone line. And I like how Ptak is body blocking that Spire. I was thinking, like, that seems like it could be a little bit too far out in the open. That's a good, maybe it's not a good angle. The Spire is not that healthy right now, but ends up being it's a good attack, actually, for Ptak there. Good defense.
Yeah, it really was. It was close there, right? It just seemed like maybe if things gone a little differently, Sziky might have even got a cancel there. But still, good hold from Ptak, and he's significantly reduced that Ling count. But yeah, he's still going to go with this Spore timing, and I think he has to.
Yeah, this really hurts Ptak. He loses 2 drones there, building the colony and the evolution chamber. And even though Spores are decent, you're not going to be able to cover your overlords anymore. Extractor's still open. I mean, if you're going to try and defend your main with Spores, or any base really, you got to build at least 2, potentially 3. And those are all drone losses, which Sziky never has to worry about. So Sziky in a fantastic position. As you mentioned, he's going to get his Nat faster. It's already about halfway done. And there's supply block for Ptak when his Spire just finished. So this is just a nightmare for him.
Yeah, I mean, Ziky's just doing what he can to take these small advantages. His next advantage here is it looks like Ptak has so much of a supply taken up with these Zerglings as well, right? Whereas Sziky just has a few, knows they could have potential Lings floating out on the map. You see this Muta pull back just in time to defend. This is just very well played from Sziky so far. Yeah.
There he goes.
And GG is called. I mean, that's playing Sziky, man. You can't give him those little advantages. Ptak calling it early and probably just saving his sanity for the next game here, but still strong play from Sziky in this game 1.
Yeah. And what's funny is, I don't even know if he saw the creep, he just saw the Muta kill and he's like, I'm out, dude. I'm out of here. So, unfortunately, Ptak, who tried to get away with the BS, as you say, the 12 Nexus of Zerg, not able to get away with it that time. Little difference between 12 Nexus as dealing with 12 Nexus as a Terran is Terran can't do nothing to it, man. At least you can do something about this 12 hatch. But, okay, if you're Ptak here, you think you should try and risk another 12 hatch? Or do you try on going Sziky's level and try and out micro him? Because that feels impossible.
I mean, if you're going to 12 hatch, at least wait for a 4-player map, I think. I think it would have been a lot better if he picked something like Vermeer, you know, but a two-player map like that where you're going to get auto-scouted maybe is not the play. Still, I'd love to see Ptak do maybe a standard opener, maybe something like an overgas, you know, try to get a gas advantage and fight Sziky head-on with just early Muta and just see how that goes. You know, you got to test him. But I don't know. When 12 hatch fails the first game and you're a best of 3, I think you gotta play a little safer. I think you gotta, you know, get an advantage another way.
Well, like I said, we saw Sziky open pool, I think, every game, ZVZ. So, overgas could be a good opener. Get that gas advantage. Maybe he skips speed also and just sits on his ramp. And then, like I said, last game, Sziky, he was up 100 gas. 200 gas if he had skipped speed himself. So maybe that's how you can actually take down Sziky, just win an air battle, potentially with an overwhelming amount of mutas. We'll see what Ptak comes up with. I agree, if he's going to go for 12 hatch, we got to have a big map. Vermeer's big, Gladiator's big, but it's an inverted ramp, so I don't know about that one. But here we go. Oh, he has decided on Vermeer, so maybe you will be the prophet here and call a 4-player map 12 hatch. Let's find out. Ptak, 1 game away from being eliminated, so he needs a win here.
And spawning top right as the blue Zerg, currently down 0-1, fighting for his life. It is Ptak.
Yep, and 1 game away from moving into the loser bracket finals. It's Sziky. Well, Machine, he got the dream spawns. Of course, he doesn't know that it's cross spawn, but this is exactly what you're looking for, right?
If you would go 12 hatch in any scenario, this would be the best one. I'm starting to think this could be an option here for him. If you get away with that macro for a 12 hatch, especially if Sziky tries to do something like a 12 pool opener, it's such a massive advantage in this matchup that he might be willing to go for it. We are seeing an Overlord out of Sziky. This is the first we've seen in a while. This will not be a 9 pool opener. It could be, that Overgas still, or maybe, if you're up 1-0, Sziky, he could do whatever, right? He could even try to get away with a 12 hatch on this map. But still, Overlord out of both Zergs.
Yep, I am paying close attention to the minerals of both. We see both players not opting for the overpool. No 12 pool yet either. Sziky, oh, I saw him banking a little bit more before building that 3rd drone, but there is the 12 pool, so this is middle of the road for him, and it's still manageable, but not really going to get anything done with this 12 pool. Meanwhile, 12 hatch from Ptak. Of course, right? We were expecting that.
Of course. Of course, at this point. I'm not sure why Sziky decided to do anything other than 9 pool, but this is not going to be the ideal scenario here for Sziky. He is obviously going for that natural. It's just going to be a little later. The only thing going for him, it really is just the faster gas, but when you get so many drones off of a 12 hatch in ZVZ, your econ can spike pretty quickly. And also, as we know, this is cross map, so neither player probably gonna know, exactly who is at the advantage here for quite some time.
Yeah, well, Sziky may be thinking that Ptak cross spawned here, because if you look at the scout pattern, he scouted his ledge. He sees there's no overlord there and instantly goes diagonal, because Ptak should have scouted to bottom left. So I think Sziky is already aware that, hey, you're probably top right. Meanwhile, Ptak, it doesn't seem like he has the same game sense right now. Meanwhile, we do see 1 Ling being sent out from Sziky to scout for that cross spawn, because as you can see, he must suspect it. It's going diagonal to top right. And Ling's just now starting for Ptak, and Nat Hatch is done.
Even another drone at the natural out of Ptak. That is pretty crazy to me. I think Ptak is in a massive advantage here. Oh, going for the sunken though. Okay, so Ptak actually playing a little safer here. I'm not sure what he's expecting. Like, what is the sunken? Because if it was a 9 pull, it would have already been here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either, but he does get away with extra drones, like you said, but he does lose 1 building the colony. He is still up 3 workers, but here comes Sziky, surprisingly going to try and make a move with his Lings. Do those have speed? They do.
Yeah, and he's recognized that Ptak does not have speed, so Ptak going for the faster layer as well. He's got the sunken at the natural. I feel like Sziky just knows he's a little behind in drones, and maybe he's going to try to get an advantage some way here. Okay, good to harass with the circling, though.
Yeah, and it's delayed the Spire, because I see Ptak has had the money for a while, but not built it just yet. Meanwhile, I'm surprised Sziky hasn't made a move with these Lings outside of his Nat while harassing with this single Ling in the main. But there goes the Spire for Ptak. I think Spire should have gone down also for Sziky. Okay, so basically mirrored Spire times. And wow, actually Sziky even has a colony too.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad option given, he ended up scouting so late. But, you know, it's still, I would kind of give Ptak a little bit of an advantage here.
Well, finally, that Lings gets taken down. He saw the Lings move out, so he instantly goes for a backstab. However, Ptak has a lot of Lings, actually. A single Sunken can't hold this. Okay, he does have 8 more sitting here. I think it's 10 for Ptak with this counterattack. So, pretty much identical Ling counts, same Sunken timing, or same Sunken count, obviously, too. And drone count is very similar, but now Ptak mixed in 3 more drones. Now, that is a big deal. But flanking Lings from the back catch so many.
They did so much damage. Wow, that was a very nice pickup there from Sziky. And suddenly, Sziky's the one with the scary force. There is a Sunken, obviously, still back at Patak's natural. Ooh, Ptak with a sizable drone lead. So maybe this is the window. Maybe Sziky is going to feel like he has to put some pressure in here.
Well, here he goes. You remember, Sunken takes a lot of hits from the Lings to fall, so Sziky does need to be careful. He doesn't send too many Lings onto that Sunken, and you can see, even though he had an overwhelming amount of Lings there, easily held from Ptak, and he doesn't even kill the
Nice
Sunken,
hold.
which will regen. So now he's got drone lead, he's got 3 on gas, and he's got 3 on minerals at the natural too, so this is a huge lead for Ptak right now.
The one thing is Ptak with a forward Overlord that's going to get caught immediately. You see Sziky had done a great job pulling the Overlords once he recognized that it was cross-map, and they're in no danger. So this is, you know, getting supply blocks in EVZ, especially when it's Muta versus Muta, like, it can get pretty difficult from here.
Yeah, we do see that block does hurt, obviously, but he got out an additional Overlord in time. He was able to build 2 more Mutas and another round of Scourge, so it's like 6 Mutas versus 6 Mutas right now. I think pretty even for both players. Oh, he finds another Overlord. Now, I'm always worried about moves like this because you got to go so far out on the map, and a Scourge actually connects.
Yeah, that was a nice connect.
Yeah, but look at his counter.
Ooh, this could be scary. We have no vision from Sziky, but still, so many Mutas from Sziky. If
knows.
these... Oh, he does know. Very nice.
It's crazy how they just know, but like I was going to say, like when you are that far out to pick off an Overlord, he's literally across the map and opens him up to counterattacks like that. So even though it didn't end up working out for Ptak right there, that was a good move.
Yeah, it absolutely was a good move. I mean, he lost a little bit of mining at the natural even just by threatening with the units there, but man, it looks like Sziky now moving across the map. He's got a sizable amount of Scourge here. It's actually looking pretty close between these two.
Yeah, but I think Sziky knows he can out-micro Ptak here, so he's going to try and force the engage. Look at that. He's the one that knocks down all the Scourge. There's still 3 left over for Sziky, and he's on top of the Mutas, and there's no way to micro. He's supply blocked also. It's 8 Mutas versus 7 right now. One of them badly injured, so Sziky will win this fight if he continues to fight. Look at him. He's getting the moving shot while Patak's not able to. It's now 7 versus 3.
Wow, just incredible control here. He has the faster rally as well, getting on top of that last Muta, and GG is called. That was a very swift series there from Sziky. Very well played.
Yeah, and it just looks like exactly what I remember watching from previous BSLs. You get in a Muta micro battle versus Sziky, unless your name's Eon Zerg or True Touch, you ain't winning that. And you don't even know if they'll win it either. It's just immaculate Muta control, which is why, even though I didn't necessarily like the 12 hatch in Overwatch, I felt like you had to go for it, because if you get in a micro battle, you're not going to win versus Sziky ever.
It's true, man. His Muta control is just on that next level. You know, you mentioned True Touch, you mentioned Eon Zerg. I think that's about the list, you know, that can really hang with him in those ZVZ mass Muta, mass Scourge control battles. But yeah, he just very, very well played, man. Yeah, he very much deserves to move on to this losers finals, actually. So he will be facing off against the loser of Dewalt versus Bonyth. So the next match we got coming up here.
And as I stated before, this is the match everybody wants to see. And then if you don't like PvP, well, you got an amazing PvZ in the losers bracket. Could be a rematch of Sziky versus Bonyth, which was quite amazing, actually. I thought Sziky had it, especially on maps like Sylphid, but in the end, Bonyth, a little too strong PvZ. But I think we're going to go into a break, and then we'll come back with that best of 5 Dewalt versus Bonyth.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. BSL 15 winner bracket finals from Europe here. Dewalt versus Bonyth, man. Like, match of the century style stuff here. I'm hyped now, and I'm ready to get into this one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this one. You know, recently we see, if you check Reddit, Bonyth played versus JYJ. Actually won a game versus JYJ. So Bonyth is in really top shape if you're taking a game off of not like somebody that barely qualifies for ASL, but somebody that's made round of 8 like twice now. So he's in top form. Meanwhile, Dewalt, he's a killer. He's got big time macro. Actually, I think every opponent he's gotten so far, he's gotten through quite easily. So this is going to be his first real test of the tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, what a test it is, man. Bonyth has tested him quite a few times, and you got to mention he pretty consistently comes out on top. But, you know, we're seeing Dewalt get better and better season to season. This is BSL ELO 1 versus BSL ELO 2, man. Like, this is... I just know this is going to be a war between these two.
Yeah, and as we stated before, it always seems to be the case that Bonyth ends up getting the victory. I think somebody posted stats overall between these two players. It was like 70-30 in favor of Bonyth. Just for some reason, he always seems to be a step ahead versus Dewalt. So Dewalt's going to need, or he wants to prove he has dethroned Bonyth here if he can get a win. We know that the first map is going to be Vermeer, a 4-player map, and there are a lot of strategies that Protoss players pull out these days. We see 2-gate, we see 1-gate, we see 1-gate Robo, Citadel. I've even
Forge
seen
expand.
Forge expand. We've even seen, or my experience on ladder sometimes when I off races, people 12 Nexus me, and if we get another cross spawn scenario, if somebody does go 12 Nexus, they could hold it, but I don't think either one of them will risk a 12 Nexus.
Yeah, I think it would be a little better on a map like Revolver or something like that. But, I mean, you never know with these guys, right? Like, that's kind of the exciting part, is they really could do it all. And maybe, you know, going for an unorthodox build might be something Dewalt needs to do to topple Bonyth. But, I mean, it's Bonyth, man. Like, he's just such a master at PvP. When I think Bonyth, I mean, it's hard not to think great, amazing Reaver control, like highlight Reaver control every time he touches them. And they're such a pivotal unit in this matchup that, you know, it seems like he just consistently is able to get so much work done with those.
Yeah, it's true. And our players are ready. As I stated, it's Vermeer. Let's get into game 1 between these two titans of BSL.
And spawning at the bottom right as the blue Protoss, it is Dewalt.
Yep, and in the bottom left, you know who it is. It's Bonyth. Now, I don't know why I just thought of this, but when I was thinking of absurd strategies that I've seen Dewalt like get away with, like absolute soul reads, one game that came to mind was him versus Oyaji, and was on Eclipse. Can't remember the exact build order, but Dewalt had absolutely nothing. Like he went like dual tech, like Robo and Templar, but he just knew Oyaji wasn't going to attack. Now, for some reason, I'm feeling like, okay, well, what's a slick strategy that maybe Bonyth never faced against? And I was thinking of, did you ever watch Flash play random in ASL? He got random Protoss versus Snow on Eclipse and hit a base. For some reason, I'm feeling like Dewalt, maybe he could hide a base and overrun Bonyth if it never gets scouted.
Yeah, I mean, you see it occasionally, like 2-gate into like hidden base. I mean, maybe that's what you gotta do against Bonyth, right? Because the normal stuff just doesn't seem to be working. But I mean, you know, if, on a high ground map, if you can get it kind of walled off with a few cannons or something, it's definitely possible to hide bases PvP and, you know, have, you know, get a good advantage from it.
Well, we do see faster gas timing for Bonyth, just slightly though. Meanwhile, matching the gas is Dewalt. Gateway's going to finish pretty soon for both players, and we do actually see Dewalt's going to be the one that wants to get intel on his opponent, but unfortunately for him, he is going to scout Bonyth last unless he goes for that in scout that Flash loves.
Yeah, little unfortunate, but it looks like Bonyth actually heading the right way, so he'll have the later scout, but he should still have the first scout. Looks like Bonnet's core is just a little bit ahead of Dewalt's as well.
Yep, we do have both players, I think, going for Zealot. You can see that they're 16 out of 17. So both players are respecting potential for Zealot harassment and want to be able to have something to defend versus it. Now, we've seen a few games of PvP on this map, even these, or even bottom right in particular. There was a lot of pylon blocks in the, or manor pylons, I mean, in the NA championship. Not going to be the case this time around, but Bonyth getting full intel here, and look at this. He's floating the gas. What's he want to use that on?
Yeah, I would assume maybe quick robo, right? Like maybe Bonnet's just like, you know what, let's just get to the robo, play a standard.
Oh!
And, ooh, did he show it? He even shows it.
He did. Now, did Dewalt click it is the question. However, I don't even think it matters if you click it, because you're never building a citadel right there, right? So the fact that he even was able to see it, it's either a pylon or a robo. So I think Dewalt could probably already guess that it's a fast robo, but you never know.
Yeah, Dewalt, just with the single gateway so far, is he maybe going to go for an expo here? I mean, that's kind of what that probe reads to me.
Well, we've saw players like, who was it? Was it Lancer X? Going fast Nexus every game? I can't remember exactly who it was, but we consistently saw players try and build that fast Nexus.
I think it was Lancer X. Yeah, I mean, if you can get away with it, right? Like, if he has read this correctly and knows this is going to be a one-gate robo timing from Bonyth, maybe you can just get the Nexus and still, you know, produce enough goons off of just the single gateway into, like, two-gate to kind of hold something like this.
Well, this is going to be dangerous, because that's a fast robo, fast reaver. If Bonyth starts cutting to put down gateways, Dewalt, unless he gets out onto the map with his goons, will get locked into a battle between Goon Reaver with just goons himself. But so far, there is no gateway flood for Bonyth, and meanwhile, Dewalt is starting to ramp up his gateway count. It's up to 3 now.
I honestly feel like maybe Dewalt's made the right read here. I mean, he's not wasting any money on tech. He's definitely going to have the better eco here. And he's kind of going to force Bonyth to get into a situation where he has to kill him. Like, he's just going to have to do massive damage to this natural, you know, prevent it from mining, kill off the army, or it's game over.
Yeah, and we do see the transfer. Slight probe advantage for Bonyth right now, but it's going to be more efficient mining for Dewalt. So in the end, it's probably... Oh, okay, we can't bleed off Dragoons, that's for sure. He does back off in the nick of time. He should notice that there's no range for Bonyth. And if there's no range, that means Bonyth has no intention of attacking. So Dewalt's actually going to get away with murder here. Faster Nexus, of course, he doesn't have the tech, but he doesn't have to worry about being attacked for a long time.
Yeah, he really doesn't. I think this all just still stems from that Robo Scout on the high ground. Bonyth finally, with his first observer, will move across the map to the natural, but I think it's just going to confirm his fears, man. Dewalt's in a pretty decent spot here.
Yeah, Bonyth is still going to feel good that he has the Reaver advantage, and we know he can micro Reavers with the best of them. But he doesn't have a shuttle. He built 2 observers out, so actually there is a window of opportunity, I guess, for Dewalt to try and make something happen, but I don't think he has the goon count just yet. However, he's going to force the fight.
Wow, good damage on that Reaver to start things off, but actually Dragoon being picked off immediately. I think Dewalt's forced to back up here.
Yeah, I think that's a wise decision. Even though there's no range, it's not like he has 12 goons, what was it, like 7 in a Zealot? So the Reaver will pack a punch when comboed with even just 4 or 5 goons, so he's going to back off. Meanwhile, Bonyth's next is going to be coming up in just a second. He's going into 3 gates himself. I still saw no tech from Dewalt at all, unless that's, okay, it just now starts. So his tech advantage, or his tech deficit is actually pretty large. Like, there may be upwards of 3 Reavers potentially, before he even gets out a single Reaver?
Yeah, that's honestly what this looks like. Maybe even more. I think more than 3. So, I don't know. I'm kind of liking the situation for Bonyth more and more the longer this goes. Even though Dewalt has this probe lead, it's on less efficient units, it feels like.
Well, Dewalt is going to have massive gateway advantage because he's got 5 gates going up versus just 4, and he's had 3 compared to 1 for a long time. Observer spots it, though. So Bonyth knows exactly what's going on. Meanwhile, I do see Dewalt putting pylons at top right. I thought maybe he was already thinking about building a 3rd base, but those are just trying to get vision for an incoming drop. Also pylons at the bottom side, so that's great for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of using his map control really well here to get those pylons down. Doesn't want to lose to something like a counter Reaver drop play to the main. I mean, Bonyth can do it, especially if he has like shuttle speed or something like that. It's just a quick way to lose a game. So, but it looks like Bonyth actually moving out finally.
Yeah,
There's at least
and
2 Reavers.
well, okay, this is. First off, Dewalt needs to get everything out of his main into the low ground, which sometimes you actually forget. You actually have units in your main, but it looks like Dewalt is moving some back into position. Remember, he's got units at the top side of the map. Now, we know that, but is Dewalt cognizant of that? Okay, you see them moving, so he is aware. And this is exactly what you need to do versus something like this. You have to have a fight in the center of the map. If you get bottled up, you're never going to break the Reavers. So let's see if Dewalt can get the 360 flank on him.
Here we go. Scarab's being used up on that pylon. It looks like it's finally go time. Units still not coming in from behind, though. I thought he was going to position them a little closer, but looks like the Dragoons are engaging, trying to get on top of those 2 Reavers. And Bonyth doing a great job loading those up in the shuttle, just getting maximum value here. But still, Dewalt might do it.
Oh yeah, he easily holds it. This is so many goons, and this is exactly why if you have the units out in the center of the map, you can maybe not necessarily easily take down the Reavers, but with a 360 surround, or almost I guess a 270 surround on those Reavers, he easily takes them down. Now Bonyth still has a Reaver back at his base. He still has 4 gate, but this gives even more map control to Dewalt. He could put down a 3rd Nexus, and it looks like that's what he's got in mind. He puts down, or he's going to put down Nexus at top right, and I saw he's got Citadel tech actually completed, so he's actually going to go into pure on gateway, man, with speed coming.
Yeah, I think this is a wonderful transition. Like you said, we're seeing that probe move to the 3rd base. He knows he's at an advantage here, and he's just going to play to his strengths, not jump in to the natural, try to maybe pick off a lucky Reaver or 2 and throw a bunch of goons away. He's just going to drag out his advantage here and force Bonyth to come to him.
Yep, and now Bonyth's in a tough spot. He's got to flood gateways, because if he doesn't, this guy's going to have a 3rd Nexus, and he's already got a gateway or a gateway unit deficit. So he's putting down 6 gates, but Dewalt's putting down 6 gates himself. He's got Forge, which is a great boost to your army, obviously, the +1. He's got Templar Archive coming in. I like how Dewalt's balanced his gas and minerals, too. It's not like he's floating a billion gas. He's really balanced it quite well.
Yeah, he definitely has. I'm wondering if he's gonna maybe try to get into Storm Tech before this timing from Bonyth arrives, or not.
I think
they have the Templar Archives. Okay.
Yeah.
Templar being built.
I think he's just gonna build like 1 or 2 Archons to soak up some hits and also deal with Zealots. But yeah, if he could get Storm, that would be amazing. But he may feel like he may not be able to get it in time for an incoming attack, because the Observer does get in. And I think he saw that it was 6 gates and no 3rd base. So he feels like an attack is coming. Try and get as many units out as possible. That's got to be an Archon Morph, I imagine. And it's going to be 9 gate for Dewalt. So big gateway production for him.
Yeah, this is huge. I thought Dewalt might go for a 3rd base or something like that. But I think this was maybe the read. If he had allocated too many more resources to another base right now, this window from Bonyth, like, it might be able to catch him, right? Like, this is still a sizable, strong force out of Bonyth, but I don't know, it just feels like Dewalt has the slight lead here.
Well, he does always have to be careful to engage into Reavers with Zealots. they obviously get shredded in an instant. Here is a 13 supply lead for Dewalt, but it's quite negligible. I would say the biggest advantage for him is simply just the 6 extra probes. Once he gets his third base up and running, that will be a big income boost for him. You can see both players starting to mine out their mains. Dewalt's main seems like it's mining out really fast. Only 12 minutes, and those mineral patches looked quite low, but I guess it's just normal for now, but something to be aware of. And okay, nope, I thought Bonyth may take a third base, but he's gonna move out.
Ooh, yeah, this is, I mean, once again, he's got that Reaver advantage. It's the one thing that Dewalt doesn't have, but Dewalt has a DT out on the map. I think he's going to look to just continue delaying Bonyth's third and force Bonyth to be all in here. He's also got that Archon.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, I mean, you may have more units, but who has map advantage right now? It's Bonyth. He's on high ground with Reaver. DT's done a good job to delay the third base, but here's the full army of Bonyth. However, again, it's another big flank potentially from Dewalt. Templar's out in the front. Don't know if it has Storm. Doesn't matter now because it's dead. Remember, those Zealots will die instantly from Reavers. The Reavers are pretty low, but is there enough for Bonyth? Actually, his army's dwindling really fast. The Zealots are hanging strong for Dewalt right now.
Yeah, especially on the left side, they did a wonderful job tanking, but still, this is such a close fight between these two. It looks like Bonyth going to retreat with just a handful of Dragoons, but I mean, he's also managed to take out all the Archons, all the Zealots from Dewalt. We saw him snipe that Templar at the start of it, so I mean, Bonyth is doing Bonyth things, man, and he continues to hang in this game.
Yeah, supplies are pretty much where we were a moment ago. Third base is coming up for both players. We can look at that DT hanging out. The observer saw it for a second, but moved away, and now he doesn't know that it's in the mineral line. Does he spot it? Look at it, just barely out of vision.
So close. Wow, I mean, you could tell Bonyth kind of knew something was going on there, but ooh, this probe transfer could be juicy here for Dewalt. We'll see if Bonyth reacts in time.
And I like how he drills to that patch where it's sitting and waiting. He doesn't drill to the close patch, so he loses 5 probes for basically free. Okay, he's going to get 6 for his DT. That's a great trade. Puts him at 58 probes to 44. So this is going to be a big eco spike for the next minute or so for Bonyth. We can see he's ramping up his Reaver and shuttle production again. First Reaver, first shuttle out, but also saw Templar out for Dewalt. So he's going to have Storm available this time around.
Yeah, it looks like Dewalt is just ready to engage here. He knows he's got an advantage with that DT timing. He's finally got the Storm out. He's still got Archons. I mean, third base is fully operational. He's in just a great spot here and looking to put some pressure.
Well, Dewalt's in the better position this time around. I don't think Bonyth has enough AoE. This is a ton of units for Dewalt. A lot of AoE with the Storm, too. Look how he's branching off some of these Zealots to draw the defense to the left side. And that allows the Templars to actually get in position on the right side. Can he get off any Storms, though? Reaver unloads, instant Storm. Gonna lose one of the Templars. Actually loses the one that had a banked up Storm. So that's great defense. But there's still just so much supply for Dewalt. It's a 20 supply lead right now.
It is, but I mean, still, like, Bonyth did a wonderful job just holding that off for a bit. Actually has a lot more units than is natural than I was expecting. I'm surprised he didn't try to flank a little better there. But still, I mean, the rally from Dewalt is looking endless. Just a massive blue wave moving across the center of the map. Still no fourth base, but I'm sure Dewalt's got to be feeling confident enough to take a fourth here pretty soon. More probes transferring to that third, and yeah, we see the main is mined out. It looks like for both players now.
Yeah, but there's not that big of an army difference for Dewalt. Even though Bonyth is down 15 workers, supply is pretty much the exact same in terms of army. That's 3 Archons and 3 Reavers, though. So I have to give the advantage in terms of army to Bonyth here. If Dewalt attacks and he loses even a single Templar to a Reaver shot, I feel like there's no way he's going to be able to bust through this, but it looks like he's setting up. But +1 just kicked in for Bonyth, so we've got even upgrades for both players.
Big engagement. Reaver's being dropped here by Bonyth, getting good connects so far on those Templar storms going down, weakening them.
Oh my god.
And it's just too much from Bonyth. Not the best engage here for Dewalt.
Yeah, he's gonna have to back up, and we see a supply lead for Bonyth. Like a massive supply lead. It's 15 supply plus the 15 worker disadvantage. So it's actually a 30 army advantage right now. And again, he's getting into a killer position out in the center of the map. But Dewalt is all clumped out as natural. He doesn't really have a big flank here. There's really nothing here to deal with Zealots and Reavers.
He does get a nice little flank onto one of those Reavers. He does also kill off the third base of Bonyth, so maybe if he can stall out somehow he can hold this, but this is a massive, massive engagement from Bonyth. Those Archons, man, they're making all the difference, it feels like, for Bonyth, and really tanking for this Reaver to continue to do so much damage.
Yeah, the army comp is just not there for Dewalt. It's Masgoon versus Zealot Goon, Archon, Reaver. I mean, Masgoon just doesn't beat that. So even though the econ is in shambles for Bonyth, really, he's still got 25, and he's 25 probes, he's still transferring to his third base. I mean, look at supply. He's up 40 supply. He's breached the main now. We're going to see GG any moment here, unless there's like a miracle DT, but there's an observer here.
Yeah, Bonyth really just doing everything he needed to stay in this game, and I mean, he's got it. He's right on top of the rally now of Dewalt. Dewalt taking a second. GG-ing. Man, that was just a masterful PvP out of Bonyth there.
Yeah, I thought once Dewalt held the first attack, he got his nat up and running, got his third base. I'm like, okay, well, how the heck is Bonyth ever going to recover from this? But maybe too many Nexuses for Dewalt. You see he had a fourth base at the bottom side. Lack of tech, maybe? I mean, Bonyth had Reavers and Archons. I didn't see any Storm, but on Dewalt's side, I don't even know if he made an Archon. Like, he had Storm, like 2 or 3, but that's
not
it.
At the end there. Yeah, I really think you kind of picked it out at the start of that fight. Just that there wasn't enough Archons. He needed something to tank for those Dragoons to even be allowed to do some type of damage, man. I mean, Bonyth is doing a great job targeting with those Reavers, keeping them just out of range, but continually able to do damage, and was just, I mean, killing off waves and waves of Zealot Templar with those Reavers. So that was very nicely done. And yeah, Dewalt's just, he's gonna, you know, but he could have still won that game, right? If he maybe mixed in a few more Archons there, I think he was in a sizable advantage for the majority of the game, but just couldn't quite close it out.
Yeah, so that gives Bonyth a 1-0 lead. Remember, it's best of 5, not best of 3. So Dewalt still can crawl back. Definitely want to win game 2, though. It's going to be basically impossible to come back from a 2-0 deficit versus Bonyth. Now, it is PvP, so that I'm not sitting here thinking like, okay, I want to pick a Monopoly as Terran versus Protoss, right? Like, there's no pick here where I think, okay, this is going to be a fantastic pick as a Protoss player, because you're facing another Protoss player. We did just see a 4-player map. Maybe we see somebody pick a 2-player map. Maybe we see Butter, for example.
A 3-player map, or yeah, okay, Longinus. I mean, another unique map, right? Maybe if you're afraid of Reaver, you pick a map like this that 3-gate is just so strong on, right? This is like Sylphid PvP. So I kind of maybe like the pick here for Dewalt. It's going to be an adjustment. Bonyth is a lot less likely to open just his standard 1 gateway into, you know, Robo Reaver here, so he might feel a little less confident playing that way. But either way, it looks like we are ready to get into game number 2 here of our winner bracket finals, Bonyth versus Dewalt. And spawning at the mid-right, as the red Protoss, currently up 1-0, it is Bonyth.
Yep, and in the blue, in the bottom middle, it is Dewalt. Now, I actually think we're going to see the same thing from Dewalt, and the reason I say that is Longinus has 10 patches. It also has 8 patches in your NAT. You know how many gates you can build with that many patches machine? A ton of gates. So I actually think we're going to see the same thing, or we're going to see somebody 3-gate or 4-gate, because you have 10 patches. That's a lot of minerals to work with. So it's going to be one or the other, in my opinion.
I just think maps without that ramp leading to the main, like I see Protos's just 3-gate all the time, and it's just always just so strong. But you know, it can obviously be held with like a 2-gate into Robo, or something like that. But I mean, that's not what Dewalt was doing game 1 anyway. Like you're saying, he's probably just looking to get into a lot of gateways, like out macro this guy, man. Because how else are you gonna win?
We do see first gate coming down for both players. And again, Dewalt's going to be the one going for the faster scout. It is a 3-player map, so he would find him relatively quickly regardless, but he's going to get lucky this time. Find Bonyth first. And, okay, there's the gas for Bonyth.
Yeah, gas for Bonyth. No gas quite yet for Dewalt.
2-gate.
Okay, I like this. I think this is a decent opener here, right? Like, change the game up a little bit. Don't let Bonyth get too comfortable. So, you know, they are semi-close positions. There is no ramp leading to the main, so it's not like Bonyth's just going to be able to block any Zealots from incoming. So we'll have to see how this one works out.
Well, this could get ugly real quick because I'm seeing 3 potential Manor Pylon positionings. Top, the second one right there, and then at the bottom. And it could get ugly real quick if Dewalt can get a Manor Pylon down while going for this 2-gate. Luckily for Bonyth, he is going to find Dewalt first, so he's going to actually be able to... Oh no! He scouted, but he still will get in and see it.
Yeah, he still should see the Zealot sitting at the natural as well. Ooh, yep, sees the 2 gateways. So suddenly he knows this is about to be a lot of Zealot pressure incoming from Dewalt. We do have that Zealot, though, that safety Zealot from Bonyth. Dragoon already on the way. So I feel like Bonyth is in a pretty good spot. There we go, 2nd gateway even going down in the main. So good reaction here from Bonyth. And I think he's doing what he's got to do to hold this.
Well, not a Protoss player, so take this with a grain of salt, but I am noticing that Bonyth continuing to mine with 3 on gas, and we know a lot of pressure is coming, so he does need to be careful to not overbuild or overmine his gas there. There's the Manor Pylon I was talking about, and in fact, that probe could build a battery in the back if he wanted to.
I think he might.
Right there! Oh, that was he gets 1 down, but that was a fantastic kill of the probe at least.
Yeah, that was really well done here. And Zealot streaming into the main. Dragoon already trying to get a little bit of damage down, getting chased off from these Zealots, but it looks like Dewalt happy to fight, man. He's not even going for the probes yet. There we go. Weak Zealot going for that probe, almost getting a kill, but good movement here from Bonyth. And yeah, we have a 2nd Dragoon out as well. But Zealot's just diving into this mineral line finally, trying to get some damage done. 1 probe finally falling. Ooh, this is... I think pretty well held from Bonyth, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's about as well as you're ever going to hold it. And Bonyth, even though he's down 3 probes right now, this is, I think, an advantage for him, or at least even state for him. His range is going to be far ahead of Dewalt's. So if he does want to make something happen with these goons, he needs to go quickly.
Yeah, Dragoon count only at the 2 for Dewalt, but... obviously, Bonyth's going to have to move all the way across the map. We're seeing additional Dragoons built out of Dewalt. And 3rd gateway has been added on as well. So Dewalt just wanting to maybe get himself in a position to continue putting some pressure on, or at least hold his natural. But we haven't really seen the tech switch from Bonyth here yet.
Well, 4 goons versus 4 goons. And then it's range lead for Bonyth. So this is going to be a nightmare hold for Dewalt. Look at him. He already almost gets a kill onto that goon before it even gets off a shot. He's got another 1 down into the health. Like, he already lost all of its shield. He's gonna lose this pylon, which is going to supply block him, and range is still a long ways away.
Oh gosh. Yeah, this is just not great here for Dewalt. Dewalt trying to move in, kind of forced to engage. At least gets the 2 Dragoons down, but I mean, the flood from Bonyth just continues here. We have 4 Dragoons versus 2. Bonyth's just doing a great job trading here and still has that range advantage. And yeah, this is not looking great. Dewalt forced to GG out there. So, ooh, man. What a commanding second game out of Bonyth there. Dewalt, I like the choice to switch it up. You know, get a 2-gate in, maybe try to pressure a little bit. But Bonyth just looking solid, man. He held it so well.
Yeah, just simply looking at how many units Bonyth had when the 3 zealots came in, felt like the gateways were just too slow for Dewalt. Like, I don't mind waiting for 3 zealots, but I don't know if it was like a 10-12 gate or a 10-13 gate, but I mean, he easily held it. What, did he lose 1 probe and a zealot? That it feels like that's not the damage that you're looking for if you're going to open with something like that. And Longinus rush distances aren't, ridiculous. So I don't know. Was it just strictly a build order counter from Bonyth?
It felt like it. That second gateway came down pretty quick, right? Yeah, I don't know if the gateways are maybe a little too delayed from Dewalt or something, but I mean, clearly Bonyth was ready for that timing. I mean, takes a pretty quick 2-0 lead here in this series. If you're Dewalt, what are you thinking, man? Like, what would you do to switch it up from here? He obviously picked Longinus, so he was comfortable with that map PvP, but I don't know if that's maybe the style anymore.
I'm trying to think of what maps are remaining. We've got Sylphid, Butter, Monopoly, Overwatch, Gladiator.
Maybe you go Butter and you 2-gate and then proxy 2 more gateways at the 3rd or something. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how you take out someone like Bonyth on a map like that, but it's going to be a 2-player map. It's going to be Overwatch. Pretty, one of the more like relatively standard maps. Those bridges outside the naturals kind of come to mind. It could be a little difficult to press in there against a Reaver, Dragoon army or something like that, PvP. So maybe Dewalt just wanted to try to hold an expo and play the game from there or something. We'll have to see, but looks like our players are ready. Let's get into game number 3 here of Bonyth versus Dewalt. And spawning at the top left as the blue Protoss, it is Dewalt.
And in the bottom right, 1 game away, it is Bonyth. Well, regardless of what happens here, we get to see Bonyth versus Dewalt on 4-player, then 3-player, then 2-player. We get to see the full arsenal and build orders from both players. But I feel like if you were going to 2-gate on a map, this would have been a better choice, simply because Longinus does have all those extra patches. You saw Dewalt go into the 3-gate. I feel like he kind of gave away that 3-gate option going into the fast 2-gate and then, giving range lead away. I don't know. It kind of just seemed not like the map for it. But I'm happy that we see Overwatch here instead of something like Gladiator. I think if you pick Gladiator and you get 2-gated by Bonyth on a reverse ramp, you're insta-dead.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Maybe this would have been the better map for it as well, but I don't know, man. Like, the pressure's on here. I don't think Dewalt's going to do anything crazy this game. I think he wants to just try to play a standard, straight up PvP. I'd expect to see early gas in the main from Dewalt and from Bonyth, probably. And we'll have to see how this one goes.
Yeah. We do see that Dewalt scouted his main to make sure he's not getting in-base proxied, and Bonyth's going to do the same. I feel like we're going to see basically the same build as we saw in Vermeer from Bonyth. And the question to me is, does Bonyth think he can hold a Goon Reaver play on this map? If he does, we may see another fast Nexus from him. If we don't, I think we may see 1-gate Robo, 2-gate into expansion from him.
Yeah, I think you could be right. I mean, core timing's pretty well timed from each of these players so far. Dewalt definitely been favoring that faster natural. Just seems like the style he likes to play in this matchup, so we'll see if maybe he goes for it.
Well, both players going to get a scout off. Dewalt coming in just now, Bonyth already in the main, doing a bit of harassment. A bit of annoying harassment with the probe already disrupting the gas mining.
Yeah, really well done, man. I mean, that's just the sign of good Protoss at this level, right? They're just pests with these early probes. You even see Dewalt taking some mining time from Bonyth before he's going to go harass. I love this.
Yeah, it adds up. That's the boosted patch. If he sat in the back behind the cybernetics, could have mined it over and over and over, or attempted to mine it over and over and over, and just really screwed Bonyth over. We do see range coming in for both. Oh, actually, maybe range is not coming in for Bonyth, because I see he has 100. Oh, I was gonna say an extra 50 gas, but not the case. Range for both.
Yeah, range for each. I like it here. Just play standard, safe. Like, don't lose to anything silly. Dragoon range comes in handy so often PvP, and especially after that last game. I'm sure Dewalt doesn't want to be caught without it.
Yep, now the probe does die, and I guess Bonyth could, theoretically, cancel range and go into some type of tech, but Robo would be so fast versus that I think that Citadel follow-up would not be the wisest, and there is the 1-gate Robo as expected, and going to be a matching build order from Bonyth. You can see the timing is basically the same. The only difference we see from the players so far is a single probe advantage for Bonyth right now.
Yeah, that scouting probe being killed off from Dewalt, so it's really the only change between these two. Oh, is that a second gateway maybe from Dewalt? Nope, just getting a probe in position. Oh, it is. Okay.
Ooh, okay. I thought it might be 3-gate follow-up, but just going to be 2 gates, so it's going to be just a safe opener versus everything. Meanwhile, no second gate for Bonyth just yet. I imagine this is going to be, like I said, pretty much the same thing as we saw in Vermeer, but this time with range. And Dewalt, he is going to push out and make sure that, hey, dude, hope you didn't cut range, because if you did, I might come down here and punish you. But he's going to see that Bonyth does have range. Or not.
Yeah. Guess he's just happy to defend the bridge for now. It's so tough to push across that bridge. Yeah, we're seeing forces kind of engage a little bit, but, I mean, Dewalt's going to know he has to back off here real quick.
Yep, and I did see dual tech buildings going down for Bonyth in his main. I imagine it's the observatory and the robotics facility, but not sure exactly. But yeah, it is both.
So very, very standard here. I like this out of Bonyth, you know. He's just not cutting anything, right? Getting the early observer in case it's DT. Just playing very standard, straight up PvP.
Yep, everything here is very normal. Shuttle's already out for Dewalt. His support bay is just about to finish, so the Reavers can get queued up. I think Observer is basically completed for Bonyth now, so he's going to get out into the map with that, and he may be able to see the Reaver coming, but instead, because he doesn't know what the tech is for Dewalt, he's actually just going to hang out here, make sure DT does not run by, and there is going to be the Nexus from Bonyth in just a second. He's up 6 workers, I just realized that. Wow, so actually, Dewalt is the one that needs to make something happen, otherwise he's going to be in big time trouble.
Yeah, I think he, with that earlier second gateway, it was pretty much decided from then on. He needs to be doing some pressure, some damage here. I mean, Bonyth made that early observer, and that's really not going to pay any dividends here. Dewalt was able to at least skip the observatory, cut a few probes here, so this could be quite a strong timing out of Dewalt.
Yeah, we do see that a sizable amount of goons plus a Reaver is moving out. Remember, he has shuttle advantage. Luckily for Bonyth, though, he's going to see it coming with an observer, and it's Overwatch. If you try and attack across this bridge like this, it's just not going to go well for you. I can't imagine him letting him through. Yeah, this is exactly why you don't go that direction, and that means that a goon falls, and it buys Bonyth time to get a shuttle out himself. So already, Dewalt is in big time trouble. He's going to try and come in here and make something happen, but no, he's just forced to turn around. And if you're Dewalt in this position, what can you really do? It looks like he's going to try and just build a Nexus, but he's already really far behind.
I mean, there's nothing else you can do, right? What do you try to push through that that bridge again? Maybe go around south and let Bonyth get another Reaver out? I don't know, man. That was masterfully held from Bonyth. Really would have liked to see Dewalt maybe swing around to that bottom side and engage through there, but As is, even though supplies aren't showing it, this is going to be a deficit here for Dewalt. That natural has not kicked in yet. Bonyth's economy is fully kicked in. Bonyth's got, observer out. He sees exactly what he's up against here, and there's just no pressure potential for Dewalt yet.
Yeah, and we've got even gateway counts for both players. We've got 6 probe lead for Bonyth though. Nexus is already done. So there's just nothing in the advantage of Dewalt right now. Obviously, tech advantage. Well, I guess tech is pretty much even for both players, but this is one way you can get something done if Shuttle goes into the main, but he's not. Instead, he's just going to try and out micro Bonyth here.
One shot already going down on that Reaver of Dewalt from Bonyth, so Bonyth getting a little bit of a better trade here early on. Ooh. Man, these Reavers, I can feel how stupid they are. There we go. Moving in, finally getting a couple shots off. Is Dewalt picking off a Dragoon, man? Oh, another nice shot, though, from Dewalt. But once again, Reaver being softened up from Bonyth. I would kind of expect Dewalt to back up here, but we'll see.
Oh, he gets a shuttle, but he only
my.
loses one of the Reavers, but still, that is a nice connection there. However, Dewalt loses a Reaver himself. He still has the shuttle advantage, but there's flat out more units for Bonyth right now. Good shot from the Reaver too, takes down the Zealot and the Goon, and he gets a connection onto the Reaver in the back, and the shuttle falls. And I think once this army falls, this is just going to be an insurmountable lead for Dewalt to overcome.
Yeah, this is just going to be a massive lead. I mean, the natural's still not, being mined from Dewalt here. He knows that Bonyth has that Reaver advantage and Dragoon advantage. I don't know. Bonyth is just starting to run away with this game a little bit.
Yeah, and this whole time he was floating a lot of resources too, so that just shows you how far ahead he actually was. He's still got 800 resources. He's going to use that to put down multiple gates and potentially put down a third Nexus. He's going into 6 gate right now. I think, okay, yep, Forge and I guess Citadel 2 going to go down in just a second. Still a massive worker advantage. It's 7 now, and it's just 5 goons for Dewalt. Like, this is nothing. There's, 8 goons for Bonyth plus a Reaver?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not even a force at this point. As soon as Dewalt gets the observer in there, sees the unit count, he's going to go, oh, okay. Like, I have no reason to be on the map right now, I think.
Yep, there's the +1. Citadel should be there too. Yep, it's going to complete. So this, like I said, it looks exactly like last game. Third base coming in for Bonyth with gateways and Citadel and +1. And here we go, another round of goons plus a shuttle moving out. He does know that there's no shuttle right now for those Reavers, so maybe he thinks he can abuse that fact. But you're still attacking through a bridge. This is really hard to make work.
I think he's just going to try to get a couple picks here real quick if he can. We'll have to see. Okay, good Reaver shot to start things off. Does force Bonyth to back up a little bit, but Bonyth doesn't worried about it. He's getting more rallied Dragoons in position. Ooh, nice pick off from Bonyth. Taking out a single Dragoon there from Dewalt.
Yeah, I think Dewalt's only way to get back in this game is harass the natural. Get off even just one Reaver shot, take down some probes, and run away. Now he needs to run. I mean, that doesn't look like really a successful attack, but he took down 4 probes, and he got away with minimal damage, and he forced a full probe pull. So that does add up over time, but even with that, worker advantage still 7. Still just overwhelming production advantage too. I think it's 6 gates versus 4? Yeah. So
yeah,
still just a huge lead for Bonyth.
Yep, Bonyth's third actually online now as well. We see that big probe transfer to the south side of the map. And Dewalt somehow sniffing this out, moving up here to try to claim this high ground, but Bonyth having none of it, jumping in with his Reavers, and big connections going down actually for both players. Shuttle being killed off for Dewalt.
Yeah, but
for both players.
You look at those Reaver shots from Bonyth though, and he's got the uphill advantage the entire time. Yes, I realize Dewalt has the Reavers, but there's still 6 gate advantage. There's still high ground for Bonyth right here, and somehow he still holds it. I thought for sure Dewalt was going to win that fight as the units dwindled down, but in the end, a Reaver survives with just a sliver of health.
Same. I mean, that could not have been closer. That was still masterfully played by both these players, but Bonyth just managing to hang on, man. And I mean, every second this game goes on at this point, that third base is going to be accumulating more and more resources. That's going to be more Dragoons, more Reavers for Bonyth to play with here. Blue +1 looks like it's just about to complete as well. That, as we know, is a huge power spike in this matchup. No third base yet on the way from Dewalt, or just being built. I mean, Bonyth taking a pretty commanding lead here.
Yeah, and I love the single DT from Bonyth. He knows that this guy has to make something happen. That means he's going to be skimping out on observers. In fact, I think he only has one. This caped man could literally end the game. It's gone unscouted. He's moving to the third base right now. If he hooks around to the natural, this is probably game over. Going to force an all-in from Dewalt. Dewalt's going to move into the net right now. There's minimal defense, but...
Okay, we might be able to get something done here.
Oh! Thought that was going to get more probes than it actually did, but still, this is still just way too many units to deal with. And there goes that DT.
Oh, Dewalt getting surrounded a little bit at the south side, but yeah, buying some time is Bonyth for this DT to get into the natural. And as you mentioned, there's no observer here being at least figured out right away. But still, this is going to be massive, massive economy damage to Dewalt, who didn't have much economy to begin with here.
Yeah, and like I said, this is going to force Dewalt to go all in. He's going to try and make something happen with these 3 Reavers and handful of goons. He doesn't even have that many goons because he's left so many back. It's just an overwhelming amount for Bonyth right now. Another goon falls, another big hit from the Reaver of Bonyth. Yes, I realize 3 Reavers are strong, but when it's like 20 goons versus just 4, I mean, that's just simply too much to overcome. Dewalt's going to try and sync up the rest of his army. He's actually going to get here at a decent time, but he must break through. Otherwise, Bonyth is going to end up taking this game.
He's done a great job with that Reaver control on the high ground. Finally, Dewalt's units joining up, and I think this is it. This is the fight of the game here. 3 Reavers for Dewalt. Ooh, shuttle getting picked off immediately, but one of Bonyth's Reavers falling. GG is called, though, from Dewalt. It's just an overwhelming amount of units there from Bonyth. And Bonyth takes the series 3-0 against Dewalt. Very impressive play.
I was not expecting the 3-0, especially after game 1, at least the openers of game 1, because it looked like Dewalt was in a good spot. But then after Bonyth ended up winning that game, just swung a little bit too far in his favor. Of course, game 2 did not go according to plan for Dewalt, and then this game, of course, didn't either. I think just the build order was... I think the build order was fine, but you can't attack through that bridge, man. You just can't do it. It's such a huge bait. You're like, I got the unit advantage. I got the shuttle advantage. I can do it. And then, like, instantly 2 of your units die, and you're like, oh, wait, scratch that. I don't.
And then they get stuck on the bridge trying to retreat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was... I mean, he really was in a great spot until that happened, but it's a shame. It happens. You know, I'm sure Dewalt will, learn from it and come back a little stronger in their next series. And, I mean, not to mention, Dewalt's not out of it, right? He's going to end up falling to that loser bracket finals to go up against the monster Zerg Sziky. So, you guys tomorrow can definitely look forward to seeing that. That's going to be an incredible match between these two. Sziky, we've seen him play. He, says himself his best matchup is Zerg versus Protoss at the moment. And it's Dewalt, man. He's going to be ready, especially after today's game, to fight for his BSL life, man. So that's going to be exciting.
Yep. And even though Ptak fell earlier, we do know that top 4 makes it into the next round of BSL15, the global championship. So even though he was eliminated here, he's still in it. And of course, everybody else here, no matter if they fall in this round or the following round, they'll still be in the global championship. But I am excited to see Dewalt versus Sziky. We already saw Bonyth versus Sziky, and I liked Zeke's shots until he ended up falling on Sylph. And then when that happened, I was like, oh god, feels like Bonyth is just gonna steamroll him, and that was exactly the case. 3-1. But Dewalt, a different beast in PvZ, so maybe Dewalt can actually take down the monster Sziky. But as you said, it's his best matchup, so really looking forward to that. But that's it for us, Machine, right? We're going to be doing the losers bracket and grand finals tomorrow.
Yep, loser bracket and grand finals. Bonyth obviously moving forward to that grand finals, and we'll have to see who makes it into that grand finals to face off against Bonyth between Dewalt and Sziky. Should be a pretty impressive match, man, and I'm looking forward to it. Before we sign off, I want to thank our sponsor for BSL15. It is OptiMonk. OptiMonk, thank you for all you do, supporting us, and making this happen. We'd also like to thank our Patreons. The Bombastic General level, $100 a month. We'd like to thank Starlover. Thank you very much. The Colonel level, $50 a month. We have Anthony Chen, Martin Harzmar, Striker, and Zero Sum. Thank you. The Major Plus level, $30 a month. We'd like to thank Robert Groot, Flizzardo86, Cause, and Tupacalypse. And at the major level, $20 a month, Nicholas Schuler, Christian Eddington, LML, Ling Pump, Nientech, and Quark. And also just a quick shout out to everyone donating on the Patreons. Thanks for all you guys do. Each and every single one of these donations goes towards BSL. And you guys are here tuning in, donating, and making this all happen. So thank you, folks.
Yep, really appreciate that. And that's it for us, guys. We will see you tomorrow, same time, actually, maybe not same time, an hour earlier, I'm sure. But yeah, it was a treat to watch these games and looking forward to the games tomorrow. So me and Machine will see you there. Bye-bye.